What's up? What's up? I'm Ralph, and this is In My Circle. And I'm just talking about, in New Jersey, about the new Opra Law the new bill that Governor Murphy signed into law, or, you know, changing and, I guess, abolishing transparency and accountability within our government in New Jersey, where we can't, the Oprah thing is where you submit in writing, certain government documents, disciplinary um, records, property records, taxes, how much a property, how much a property has on taxes, and how much, who owns it, all that, you know, and that doesn't go with just private. That goes more, government, or city businesses, and like if you have a problem with an owner of a business or a property, if it's like a property that's falling apart, you want to, make a big thing about it, and it's, something that's impeding in your, let's say there's, you have a yard, and a deck is falling apart, and or a tree is falling off, and you can't get a hold of the owner. The owner doesn't stay there often. He could be, or he rents it out, and the people current occupier, may not want to do nothing about it, so you can't do nothing, and the city or town, the township that you live in may not want to get involved because they can't get a hold of the owner. So where the Oprah thing, you can pull up who owns, the property, and you can see, you can try to meet a balance and see, I'm just using this as an example. Um, it's most often stuff like that, and you know, it is used to. It's basically transparency and accountability. Let's say if you want to audit your township or your state, or a town's budget and stuff, you can ask for that information. Through the Oprah, and but now that Governor Murphy signed the bill, it's become law, and it's going to be hard to overturn it. So you know, what is it? Transparency and accountability is basically lost in New Jersey. Um, Now you don't know if your government's, you know, causing corruption, doing corruption, who's getting paid off. It's just, they kind of put a mirror on the documents that you can get, or like, a shield, force field, whatever, or a lock and key, and, you can't see. Um, so where's the accountability? Where's the transparency? Our taxpayers pay for some of these, state, city, town, government workers. Shouldn't we have the right to know this information? And I'm just using that just minimal of what the Oprah, and what that entails, and what we can pull, and just certain things that you can pull from public records that's available to the public, and that would fall under the Oprah, I guess. But they signed it. They signed it, and it's kind of put a gag order, on the government, to where you can't release certain information. But I do believe that the people have the right. You know, we inherited. I mean, we live by the Constitution, right? Of the United States, right? That I think we have the right to know what's going on within our government. It's just simple. Our taxpayers, us as taxpayers who's paid taxes, we should have a right to see what's going on. We should have a right to go and film in a public space, right? To see certain spots in America. You see all these auditors, they go in, and sometimes they have their rights violated because somebody, an official that works for us, don't know the laws or don't know the 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 allowance of a laws to allow you to go into a certain area or a certain government. If it's a government building, you have every right to go in and film. But times are changing with people with cell phones and stuff. People they want what it is they want to just stop the normal citizen from being able to express their right, the freedom of speech, their right, to constitutional right to record in public, to to and not to misunderstand FOIA and FOIA records is also you can pull FOIA records. I don't know if the new Opra law would fall under FOIA. I think that would fall under FOIA as well. Right. FOIA or Opra, I think that if I'm not mistaken, that could also be included in that. So FOIA is I don't know. I don't know if FOIA would be under that Opra. I would have to do more research, but I do 100%. The new law doesn't allow you to just extract information from the government that easy anymore in New Jersey. And I think that's very scary that the people actually voted for this to be a law. That's scary. I mean, wouldn't you want transparency? Wouldn't you want accountability? Wouldn't you want to see what your taxpayers are paying for? What your taxpayers dollars are going to? Wouldn't you want to, know what's going on within your government?
This is almost like maybe you could take bits and pieces of future movies, like Demolition Man, Hunger Games, just like a little bit of this, a little bit of that and it's like they're implementing this into our society, and everything from taking your freedoms away.
Well, I mean, they're now
that's why they
pushing the cashless society soon.
Mm-hmm. Well, remember in the films, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah.
I was gonna say this, in the films, they always depict the bad guys as the resistance are the bad guys, and the good guys are the government and the capitalists, where it's just actually reverse roles.
Well, we all know, we all know in the past, how, our people were treated, and, they made us to be the bad people, and always we were the criminals, and we were the terrorists. Let's just remind everybody, Puerto Ricans were considered terrorists because we wanted to be free in the 40s and 50s, 60s, right or wrong.
No, you're right. You're right.
Really sad.
Pretty much, anyone of a different culture or race at the time that wanted just freedom was considered an enemy because it didn't go with the narrative of the government.
Because you were the resistance. Because you did not want to say yes, and you didn't want to fall down to the knees and say, "Yeah, here, take me."
Yeah, and unfortunately, you have a lot of people that are brainwashed, and or say, "Well, you got to listen to the government. The government's this and that." I said, "No, the government don't care about you just as much as a private business doesn't care about you."
And real quick, we just we're not this episode isn't about conspiracy theorists or conspiracy theories and how bad the government is. We're just talking about some the stuff that relates to this topic, and and if you feel free to comment and whether. Comment what you feel and what you think, about the new Opra law in New Jersey, the new bill that is signed by Governor Murphy. I just, like, comment, and subscribe, and, let us know. Let us know what you think. But back to you, Ruben. I mean, sorry.
No, that's okay. No, you're absolutely right. It's not about, I'm just nitpicking, a couple of...
We're just a little bit of a...
thing into the government because,
a
it's a
quick
lot.
thought. Yeah, we're
Quick
just
thought.
we're just
Just a
giving
quick
a
thought.
quick thought and
Yeah,
a
I know
quick.
it's not a conspiracy show because we can go all into that.
Yeah, we can.
We could definitely go into that. Um, but it's like you know, the. I'm not sure yet. Did he actually hire those 87,000 IRS agents? Did that go through?
Yeah,
No.
Biden did hire a lot of IRS agents
Yeah.
to uh, go look under every single nook and cranny, check check,
Oh
leave no
yeah.
rock unturned.
Right. And they want to check your past records, and that's it. It's just
They want to, they're looking for ways to get money back.
yeah.
I
That's all.
got, listen, I did one stupid
Yeah,
thing and I got all of it for, I think,
it's
2020.
well, the thing is because they have a lot of pork belly spending, a lot of frivolous spending, and nothing is free. But yet they're telling everyone, "Oh, we can pay for this, we can pay for that." But you got to understand that comes from our pockets. Yes, the government does have money for us, but it shouldn't be going to other people.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's really, really, really just insane how things, how, I mean, 2020, 4 years ago, everything,
It was different.
we'll go back to 2019.
Oh yeah, oh that was a good.
2019
Year.
was
A good year.
was a great year. In my book, no,
Oh.
let me. To some people, it was a great year. I would
Yeah.
say 2018
Uh,
was a great one for me.
Yeah,
It was
I'll say
2019 was hard.
I'll say 17 to 20 was good for me, business wise, because I had people spending money with the business. Prices of everything was low. Well, when at the studio,
Yeah,
that studio would be double the cost now, and when I
probably triple the cost.
and just by a few short years.
I mean, you know the
Yeah.
building where Quo's sushi, right? Quo,
Go sushi.
the right across from, basically almost right around the corner from the old studio.
Oh, Koi Soul.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, Koi.
Well, that place was paying like $20,000 a month.
I believe it. I mean,
Now that could be like more than that, like 3 or 4 times that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I knew some business managers that ran some of the shop rates, and one told me that. Now I'm not sure if this is true or not, but this is what he told me. But I think also included the grocery. I think it included. I don't think it included the grocery. It just included the maintenance, paying the employees, and the property outside for like snow removal and cleanup, and plus the rental of the store itself and other fees. He told me they pay about $265,000 a week, and
Wow.
that didn't even include the groceries and insurances.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
imagine
we
you
didn't
gotta make,
want
like,
to we didn't want to get off.
No,
off,
no, I'm just
off
doing a comparison.
topic.
I'm just doing a comparison, on that topic. But I'm just saying that those were good years, and
Yeah.
these past 3 years, I mean, I'm sure not alone. Look at all
The past
stores.
4 or 5 years, I think they've been.
No, 3 years.
They
Three.
went. There was peaks and valleys.
Yeah.
18 was up here, 19 was like here,
Yeah.
and then 20 was like this
Slow,
crazy.
and then it was a short drop.
Yeah, it was this 2020 was this
look
crazy
look at
year.
this year, look at all the restaurants are closing.
Yeah, because
And I
You
heard
know-
today, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to jump, but I'm going to let you go. I heard that there's a possibility Oxford Valley Mall might be closing.
well, I've heard that.
Not sure.
I've heard that for
And
years.
and the Chamonix, too.
Well, Oxford Valley, I heard that for years.
Yeah.
I
They
heard
said a lot of stores are left.
I heard a rumor that I heard a really, really weird rumor that Sesame Place could end up buying that location and creating it,
A bigger park.
a bigger park or
It's big enough.
or a
It's like
a
a lot of space there.
resort like lodging and stuff and sell it with the park. They can buy. They could. They have the money.
it's a lot of space, a lot of parking.
A lot of easy space. I mean, they also can do. I don't know. But the thing is, people don't go to malls no more.
No. And the mall up in
Zoom. See, Zoom made it to where if you had a meeting or you had to go meet somebody,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you can meet them. Well, FaceTime makes it where you can talk to somebody, right? Text and everything. And
Right.
Facebook, you can have a meeting or a group text via text, right? And now, if it's it's so professional, you can have
Yeah.
a Zoom meeting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could interview. I'm talking about interviewing people
Zoom.
via Zoom soon. You know, obviously, I have done it on here,
Right. Yeah. But
but
we do that here. So.
we do that here already.
Yeah.
But companies where you had to go into an office for 8 hours a day and see somebody you didn't want to be with for 8 hours a day, all of a sudden, the pandemic created a different avenue of how things are how things are done. Instead of having an office with 30 people a day looking at each other, fighting, bickering, you're dealing with so many people at so many times. Office manager, you got all the overhead. You got to pay the building. You got to pay insurance. Now with Zoom, you have people stay home, and they're they're responsible for themselves. You
Right.
don't have to feed them. You don't even have to pay a bill. You don't have to pay for a building. You can have a small little office. Everybody comes in once a month to talk or reflect. Bang, you can write a big board. You can have like one of those, pyramid scam
Oh yeah.
kind of presentations.
Yep.
All right, everybody is dismissed. See you next month. And then, business as usual. But you have these Zoom meetings where, people are probably a live feed for like, who knows, could be 2-3 hours at a time. And they're sitting there talking to each other, having meetings and stuff. And that right there essentially shrinks the workforce out in public. So a town that had, like, let's say 20,000 state workers throughout the day now has 2 or 3,000 because nobody goes into work no more. Now all those buildings, those big government buildings, are sitting there idle. Nobody's sitting there, nobody running them, nobody, obviously somebody managing them, running them. But now these offices are unoccupied
Right.
because now these businesses don't want to pay these hundreds of thousands of dollars in rent
Right.
or owner, where they could just have these meetings at home.
Right.
So that revolutionized how things work.
Right.
The other thing is the excuse that a pandemic
Give.
was, people are still using, now we're moving at a, quicker speed of light, but people are still, we're just getting over the pandemic. Listen, hun, it's been 4 years. Okay, that scandemic is over. Yes, people are still getting the thing called
Let me tell you,
COVID,
yeah.
but it's a cold.
Well, let me tell you, because the first 2 years of the pandemic, a lot of things were not open.
Correct.
The third year, things slowly opened, but it was still only essential businesses. Non-essentials couldn't almost open up for almost 2.5 years later.
Oh,
just
mom and
about.
pop companies are forced to close.
Forced to close. And
bigger companies got richer.
Take this business for instance. When COVID came, we lost a lot of clientele. Yeah. And this place was packed.
Well, I mean, I seen it.
And
Businesses just changed overnight.
oh yeah, things change overnight, and there's a little bit of truth in there. And you're not wrong about the scam too. Some people are still trying to scam that. But for small business owners like myself and others, out there, to come from 3 years of pretty much shut down, you might as well just say, and then you got to try to jump, and then the landlord's raising the rent,
Correct.
30-40% prices.
Well, there's no rent control.
Yeah. And there's no
there's no rent control.
yeah,
So
there's no rent. And there's
the
no-
pandemic
Right.
gave somebody a reason to say,
And-
hey, let's just raise it.
Yeah. So there was no
Our prices are hold on. Our prices, and you can't blame certain things on owners because let's say if I have 10 apartments and I have to fix 2 or 3 apartments, the wood have people seen the cost of wood?
Yeah.
It's like triple.
That's what I was saying.
I just
Really?
put in a new fence. The fucking fence, excuse my French, I'm sorry. The fence cost me like $2,500. I mean, yes, I had to put some cement.
But just 3 years prior, that same fence would have been like 13.
8 years ago, I put in a bigger fence, and it cost me
Like $800.
It cost me like $700.
Yeah.
This fence,
Almost 3 times the amount.
3 times small.
And 3 times
It was
the
only
amount.
three slabs. It was 3 slabs.
3 times
It
small,
cost
3
me
times the amount.
yes, like I had maybe like 10 slabs back there, and
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't that much.
Right.
You know, I had bags of cement.
Right.
I mean, what I had out there was a lot of material, you know, but what got me was how much I'm paying. I paid almost $1,300 in material.
Right.
3 slabs, some cement, some posts, a couple of things here, and I'm like, what? I mean, yes, I paid a little bit. I paid for the labor.
Right.
I paid the person that did the job for me, well,
Yeah.
but everything's going up. So yes, while we're trying to do rent controls or we're trying to, those owners are paying more in material.
Right.
So, I'm not trying to stick up for the owners, but I'm giving you a reason to say, hey, everybody's being affected.
Right.
It's not just, and the owners can't, you can't help but understand, hey, the owner's going to raise the rent because he's got to.
Right.
Because he's got to go,
Well,
he's got to stay competitive, and he's also got to.
And some rents, I'm going to say some. I'm going to tell. I'll be honest, because some landlords just got greedy over pandemic, and some, not all, but it's hard to say maybe the majority, but not the 100%, because some of the raises is not their fault, because also during the pandemic,
Taxes and stuff like that.
right. So here's my thing.
Cost of living.
So this is my grief. The government's telling people don't work, stay at home, businesses close up, and we'll handle everything for you. And then the same government raises taxes, which forces the landlord to raise rent, which forces the owners to raise pay. And then, since all those things went up, guess what? Now salaries got to go up. So if salary, rent, taxes go up, guess what? Prices have to go up. So there will never be an equilibrium. And I want to tell you, in some cases, there could be an equilibrium depending on the business that you have. I'm not a multi-million-dollar business, so it's
I'm not a millionaire.
millionaire, right? But the bigger businesses, if a lot of these CEOs that are making 40, 60, $100 million a year, if they could let go about $2, $3, $4 million of their cash flow, a lot of these businesses could survive a little bit longer because the employees can get paid normally. I did some figures.
Remember during the pandemic.
And it was even more valuable,
During
4 years ago.
During the pandemic, mom and pop companies could not stay open, or they couldn't be open because,
like the gyms.
companies. Well, I'm not just using gyms. I'm talking about a small mom and pop grocery store.
Right.
Let's say a mom and pop grocery store. They depend on the public,
Right.
and the government said you cannot be open, and they would close them for a certain amount of times. But a Walmart or a Home Depot was granted allowance to be open. So back to, we just like to ramble about things. We just legitimately care.
Right.
And we're pretty much right on there where we both agree. We're not denying. We're not debating. Like, again,
No, not
there's
debating.
no
not
conspiracy theorists.
But, yeah.
We're not fighting the government. We're just saying that
We're just
there's
stating
certain
that
things about the government
it's not right.
that isn't right, and that's just and that's the reason why I ran for county committee. And yes, I won. Thank you for those who voted for me, and appreciate it. It's just I know I'm just like a delegate, county committee member, but that's where I start. That's how you start. You want to create change. I am also a part of a few committees that really are recognized and really make a difference. We really care. I am
Yeah.
friends with a large amount of people that really want to
Let me say that.
change and
Right.
do make the community better.
Let me say this on that. We don't need career politicians unless, and I mean unless, you're actually helping the people. If you're in there, I mean, you know, I'm not going to put any names out because most people know, and I'm not going to give them name credit or anything like that. But there's, some Congress people that went in the first 2 years, and all of a sudden they put a blind side to their community, and lack of jobs and stuff like that, or prevented jobs from going into their area. Some of you guys probably watching this probably know what I'm talking about, but I ain't gonna say names. Because right now I just don't want to advocate their name. Plus, I gotta show a video real quick before we close out. We got about a few more minutes. But yeah, so this is the other thing too. I want to say this. I just had this discussion about running for president. Now, as you know,
I'm not running for president.
yeah. Well, I was working on a presidential campaign in 2023, right?
Yes.
And did you know that for reason why candidates need so much money for the presidential campaign part? I don't know about the congressional or the Senate or even local, but for the presidential candidate, depending what state you are in, it could cost anywhere from, I think it was like $500 or $2,000 to $400,000 to put your name on that white piece of paper under presidential elect. That's why they ask for donations, because each state charges a different fee, and most of the coastal states like California, New Jersey, and high populated areas, New York, New Jersey, charge like $435,000 just to put your name on the ticket during the primary and the presidential, just to put your name in there.
And it's crazy because
that's why people ask.
I don't think the presidency.
The write-in.
I don't think the presidency pays that much, right?
No, actually, believe it or not, the $450,000 is the normal yearly salary for the president. And I think George Bush raised it to like 5 something.
Okay, it used to be less than that. It used to be like $40,000 a year, right?
It sounds like a little bit, but you got to understand, the president gets
endorsements,
security.
Obama walked
pension.
in. Obama walked into office as a virtual nobody, and now him and his wife are. They're millionaires because they do. They public
speaking.
Public speaking.
And plus, don't forget.
And I'm not gonna lie, Obama's a great speaker. He's a hell of a speaker.
Oh yeah, I give credit where it's due. He wasn't my guy, but he's a great speaker. Very elegant.
I was half and half with him.
Yeah.
It's all right.
But I want to say this, because for the president, like I said, even though your salary comes out to be about just under or a little over $2 million after 4 years, but you get a lot of the benefits and perks that come along with it.
You got security detail for life.
You also get
pension. You also pension.
Health,
you also
lifetime health care.
You also get to see the black book. The secrets.
Secrets. And everything.
You also get threatened, probably to keep your mouth shut after that black book.
Mm-hmm. Don't get me to the shadow government. But anyway, let's play your video.
Well, no, you're gonna play the video. No, you can. It's uploaded, right? It's not here, right?
Yeah, it's on there.
No, don't put it on air here.
Oh, that's what you want it.
No, I want it to be a separate segment.
Oh, because we got to close out soon.
Yeah, but I want it to be a different segment, like
later on.
No, upload it to just upload it.
Oh, on YouTube?
Yeah, just upload it.
Oh,
that's all.
You didn't say that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just upload it as a regular.
Ladies and gentlemen, our politician over here, his very first lie.
No,
I love this guy.
I know exactly what I was saying. 2 different shows for 2. I know what I'm talking about. Listen,
I'm just busting this job.
This is In My Circle.
Yeah.
And I'm Ralph. My right hand here, Ruben, today. Thank you for coming on. And
let me just say, because he is a lot that I'm just joking. I love this guy to death.
Listen,
and we always bust each other's chops.
Yes. I am a community activist, and I give back to my community. and I genuinely care about the community. Thank you for those who voted, and like, subscribe, and share, and comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about what we talked about tonight, and see you next time. Peace.